Hey, good evening, everybody. This is your boy Renye, the host of the Broke Podcast. Tonight's show will be something epic. I'm telling y'all right now. Hey, let's get into it right now.
Shout out DJ Chopper, I see you, boy.
Hey, what's up, Orlando? This is your boy Renye. So tonight, I got my crew in here. I got my girl DJ.
What's poppin'?
I got my girl Lynn.
Hey.
I got my girl Ashley.
How y'all doing?
And I got my girl Q.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, tonight's show is going to be something beautiful. I think something that we can all learn from. Ain't that right, Q?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, instead of me breaking down what tonight's show is going to be about, I'm going to go ahead and do a little crossover and do it behind the back and give it to my girl Q.
Hello, hello. So tonight's show, we are going to be talking about how we can... Oh, how we can create generational wealth in our family and bridge the wealth gap, basically. How can we bridge the wealth gap in our community? I know that my co-hosts, all of them have some really good answers to what they think. But first, I would like to go. Financial literacy is like super important to me. That's why I picked this subject. And a lot of things that we need to do, we need money to do them. Mm-hmm. Most of us do not have life insurance.
Correct. Talk about it.
And this is what I want to talk about. Because I had came up with a plan.
Ooh.
How we could put $1 billion back in the community.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. I said $1 billion.
$1 billion.
That's what
$1
it be.
billion go.
Let's $1 billion.
Let's talk.
Not a
Back
million.
in the community
Mm-hmm.
with life insurance.
All right. Tell us.
Most of us don't understand that $48 a month, $58 a month can go a long way. You're going to
That's not
spend
even
it.
gas.
Exactly. You're
Correct.
going to
That
spend
part.
it anyways.
You're going to eat it.
So why not insure you and your children? And if you get the right type of life insurance, you can use it for leverage
Right.
to buy assets. Now, nobody teaches us this. This is stuff we have to go find out on our own. Life insurance. If we can get 1,000 families, $1 million life insurance policies for everyone in the household, everybody got to die, sorry to say.
Correct.
Everybody's going to die. That's over $1 billion put back into our community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they going to do with it? That's here
That's
or
on
there.
here.
Correct.
But it can definitely be done. And then we won't have to be having GoFundMe raisers, frying chicken. And at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people know y'all in the streets. You know the type of lifestyle you
Right.
live. Why wouldn't you secure yourself?
Correct.
Why would you have your mama out here selling fried chicken dinners and fish dinners, but you on Facebook and Instagram flashing thousands of dollars, but when it's time to bury you, you ain't got no life insurance.
Correct.
Right.
To me, that's hustling backwards.
Right.
If you out here hustling, I don't care if you ain't hustling. If you got a job, whatever it is, you should be securing your family's
Yeah.
financial future. And that is the biggest way I can think to do it. And I know DJ knows lots about it. And I want her to
do.
let us.
But I have one of the questions I have, right? Because that is a big deal. Life insurance, I mean, I talk about it till I'm blue in the face, right? But you want to know the biggest thing that I hear back in terms of when you're asking or having that open dialogue is if I can't spend it while I'm alive, what does it do for me? Literally.
Literally, I'm going to tell you what I tell people. It's in the people want to holler everything about the Bible. Let me tell you what's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It is your right. It is your duty to leave your children's children wealth.
Right. Exactly.
It ain't about you.
Exactly.
It ain't about your kids. It's about generations behind you. And that's your
Exactly.
duty as a man or a woman if you're the head of your family.
Right. Because what did you do with your time while you were here?
That part.
What did you do? Cause havoc.
You're supposed to leave a legacy. Well, that's what I believe. I believe that everybody should have a legacy attached to their name. What did you do? What was your purpose? What did you come here? How did you serve your people?
Right.
And
Right.
that's kind of where you can help your kids leave a legacy if nobody else. You can say, oh, well, at least I left them some money.
Right.
And I gave them the knowledge and the tools, hopefully, that they
Right.
know what to do with the money so that it can help generation after generation. And that's why I want to talk to you about how the different life insurance policy, how you can actually get a life insurance policy and borrow off of it to purchase a home, to purchase land, to start a business,
Right.
to help you start, making money.
Whoa, wait a second. You just said some stuff that I never even heard before.
Correct. We're blinded by
I'm the disembodied voice here. You hit you hit the nail on the head because I think people don't do life insurance because I'm not gonna be able to use it. Right? What you just said, I went, who? How can we access that while we are alive?
That's why I was going to talk to DJ. Well, a couple of ways that I know for sure is if you have, what are they called? The policies.
They're term policies, but they have a specific rider on it that allows. It's called infinite banking.
Yeah, infinite banking. That's exactly what it's
Infinite
called.
banking is what it's called. So ultimately, a lot of people have this idea of a savings, right? You take a percent of your check or however you choose to do a savings, you put it in your savings account at the bank. But when you get that nice little letter at the end of the year from the bank that tells you that you created and saved a whole, or you've added an additional 42 cents to the 6,000 you put in there.
You make no money off
You
of
buy
that
it
money.
out the bar.
No money.
You ain't make nothing off the money sitting there. But guess what? That money in that savings account is increasing the bank's portfolio as they are able to borrow against it, keep selling debt, moving things on their end. But you've gotten not the return from it. They have. So ultimately, what it allows you to do is put money that you're going to save anyways into your life insurance policy, which adds to the cash value of the policy. So once you do that, money that you would have paid regardless or elsewhere, because you could continue to add to it, you now have, it's actually adding 4% to what you put in there monthly. So as you're adding that percent monthly, which is doing more for you just off of you having it sitting there. If you did nothing and didn't touch it at all, it's bringing you more than what it's going to bring you in the bank account or what's going to bring you in that shoebox. I ain't against keeping cash in the house, but I'm just saying it's that's already a surplus, right? So then now you take that, and if I wanted, let's say I put in $5,000. If I put in $5,000 at the cash value, and I want to go buy something that's worth more than that, they're going to pay me as it. Let's say I want to borrow 10 because I have a certain amount on my cash value that's more just by what the policy I took out, because you have a face value and a cash value. Let's say I wanted to pull out 10, but I only had the 5 in there. Or let's say, I wanted to pull out 10, but I only had the 5 in there. The rest of it's going to come from that other end of the policy. Keep in mind, though, let's say something happens to you, you pass away, they're going to pay your policy out minus what you've borrowed or what you've used. Do pay that back. Do not pay it back, because people do that and that's stupid.
Right, and also when you pay it off, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
There's no taxes.
And if you do have to pay taxes, it's a small percent, maybe like
Right.
2 or 3%. And you're paying yourself back your own money.
Right, and it just depends on the time that the policy was open as well with that tax omission. But they're going to continue to pay. Let's say you put let's say you put the 5,000 in there, you're going to pull the whole thing out and did some. They're still going to pay you the full 4% as if the whole thing was sitting there, even though it's not. Even though you've already took all of it out, they're going to pay you as if it's still there. But that's 2 ways of it, actually. So there's 2 different ways that you can use this policy to put wealth back into you, your family, and stuff like that. And when we have good business ideas, a lot of the times we don't know where we're going to get the capital from to start it. That is a great way.
Yes.
Now, I will say you do, during COVID, health, the physicals were waived. That was the perfect time. I tell everybody that if you, during the pandemic, if you cried that it made you broke, you ain't paying attention. Because that was the perfect time when everything was waived. You ain't have to do no physical. You ain't have to do none of that. Your paperwork was just, you submit it, you good, your application is going through processing. Now, however, a lot of companies are requiring you go back through the physical. But if you're a person that don't have like crazy things going on, you'll still be fine. Get it while you can. Get it while you can. But even if you got those pre-existing conditions, they do work with you. It's not that they're not going to give you the policy. They will still give you the policy. However, you will have a probationary period before you can pull that cash. So, like I have a friend right now. He smokes cigarettes. Your liability to us to an extent doesn't mean you can't get the policy. And he smokes hookah too, so which has tobacco in it, so he don't really do all the cigarettes, but like yeah. So it came up in blood work, but needless to say, he can still do it. The difference is that it's going to take 2 years before he can pull, which is still fine, because think of what you're putting in that 2 years, collecting on the 4% on top of that.
Correct. Interest off of it
You-
instead of it being in your savings
Instead of it
account,
being in
just
your
sitting
savings
there
account.
doing nothing.
Right. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Is there ever a bad time to get life insurance? Can you be too old? Because, our parents
No.
probably haven't done it. And so my parents
I just
thought it was too late to get it. And then before my dad passed, he got it, but he didn't live long enough for us to utilize it.
It depends. So that means that you got a term policy.
I don't know what he got. I just think we ain't get nothing.
So term policy and whole life insurance policies are also different. So you kind of want to check in to know what you're actually getting to
Right.
because they are different. Whole life policies, you can also borrow off them, and it's for your whole life. That's the difference. A term might be like for 15 years, 20-year policy. So kind of whole life insurance policy is also something to look into.
Yeah, and to answer your question though, you are never too old to get life insurance. You definitely can. I think I just got my dad his first policy at like 68. So
Especially if you have the money to put in the policy, because
Yeah.
if you have the money to put in there, that's the best thing to do. Just
That's
take
really
the 10.
it.
You could take $10,000, put it in the policy for $100,000 or something like that.
we did 250,000 base.
Yeah.
So you're never too old.
So let me ask y'all this, okay? Because, the tonight topic of the show is how can we change the wealth gap in our community, okay? So from everybody on here, what's your definition of wealth?
That's a good
Being
question.
able to sustain yourself.
I would say self-sustainability actually, because wealth for everybody isn't about money.
Stability.
It's about stability, being on your own time, buying your time back so that you can leave your day job or do whatever you want to do. Say your kid's calling they sick, you can take off. You don't have to worry about, can I take off or can I go do this with my family because you're comfortable.
You definitely want to spend more time with family in general.
Yeah. So it's really about the quality of life factor.
Yeah,
That's
right.
really
Quality of
what wealth does.
Okay, I'm going to break it down to y'all a little bit even more. So, me, I love the research, okay? So, with wealth, to, people that are not in our, basically to people who are the majority to them, is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, something that they could leave off with to their family. And it was so crazy because I do Uber, okay? And I was talking to this one guy and I was telling him about our show. And he gave me something that was very interesting. See, back in the 80s, Gaddafi wanted to give America $1 billion. But the Justice Department told him no. You know why? Because they considered him as a terrorist. Because he understood it was basically the reparations for the African American community. See, a lot of people didn't know that, because that's like what we talked about last week, why America been hiding their history from us. This is one of the things that nobody did not know about, and I didn't know about it.
I never heard it before.
Yes, you can look it up, because he told me look it up, and I looked it up, and I was like, wow. So that could have also helped. This was back in the 80s. Just imagine if they would have took that money and how much it would have helped us. Because this is when you start transition to the crack era,
Definitely.
okay? And you saw what the crack era did to our community. And let's even go back. Do you know that when World War II was over and when President Grant was in office, do you know that we had during that time when Grant was in office was one of the best times for African Americans? Because one, they had troops in the South, Union troops in the South. Well, not Union troops no more, but U.S. soldiers in the South. And as well, you had blacks that, because Lincoln, Republican Party was the party of Lincoln, because the Republican Party of today wasn't the Republican Party of yesterday. They all voted Republican. You had senators, first-time senators, representatives becoming African Americans. African Americans was progressing in that movement. But when Grant left office, I'm trying to figure out what president was. Ooh, dang. I know these presidents, and what not the next president that took over had pulled the troops out of the South. And that's when you started seeing the rise of the Ku Klux Klan.
So it was Rutherford B. Hayes was after Grant.
After Grant? Yes, it definitely was him. Yeah, it was him.
I'm just that smart. I didn't Google that.
Right. Yeah, sure. We all looking at you.
But what I'm saying is, we all don't. We gotta understand how the old Miley dollar works. So sometimes, sometimes we don't even know how much that $1 is really worth. Not even that 1 penny. It actually takes more money to make that penny than what the penny is worth. But a penny is like a foundation. You get one, you get two, you stack it up, you start building. And that's the purpose how we need to educate our community about how important the dollar is.
Save the dollar.
You want to know? It's funny that you say that, right? Because I was watching. It was a TikTok. It was shared on Instagram though. I was on IG night scrolling, right? And it was talking about how a lot of these groups, or even just the basic influencer that has 1.1, 1.2 million, so on and so forth, right? Imagine if how they created all of those, give you $80 and now you coming out with 8,000 type of pyramid schemes. That thing cracked me up on social media. And if I have one friend text me talk about, yo, you got $100 you can get in, I'm blocking you, blockity block, because now I think you trying my intelligence, because that's some stupid stuff. But that was my rant. But anyways, imagine, right? Imagine if you in the group and you got 1 million or above that. And everybody's sending everybody $1. Everybody's sending. Okay, now add that up. $1. You got $1 million, and it took $1. And all you're doing is each one to teach one.
So other families kind of do that, like the Islanders and stuff.
Yeah.
What they do is they all say
They call it Esso or something like that.
Susu. Like, see, yes,
Susu.
and they all come in. Everybody puts in the $5,000, and you start your business this month.
Yeah.
Next month we all gonna put the $5,000 in, and it goes to you. You gonna start your business this month, and that is how they create wealth between the two of all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they keep the pot. And that's just like I was saying with the life insurance. You can get all your sisters and brothers. Everybody get a life insurance policy. Put it in a trust. You can come and get any money that you need. But
Can you explain what a trust is for the people that don't know?
And I like the way that you're breaking it down, because sometimes
It's
it just doesn't.
you gotta get
you
the
know,
one,
the
two,
big
three
words
steps, 'cause
just don't get through
So
sometimes.
y'all know I don't know definitions. I just got my GEDS.
You got
I can't.
you got this.
But
you
I'm
got
just gonna
this.
give y'all the correct definition of a family trust. So because it's not just a trust, it's
There's
a
multiple
family
different
trust.
kind of trusts.
Yes.
Just like there's, like for example, I know when we talk about the rich getting rich is staying rich. That's what they have. This is part of my job too. Because a lot of people, I got millionaires on Medicaid right now. How? Qualified income trusts exist. There's like 4 different kind of trusts that protect millionaires from paying taxes, but they still get to use the benefits of the poor. And they talk about a lot of poor people being reliant on the government, but they got ins too. Qualified income trust allows you to shelter any of your assets that are 10 or 15,000. I think the threshold has changed. Actually, it has changed a year ago. But it has changed now to 25,000. Able to go into that trust, and the government cannot use that as a qualifier on any of the application. You can have a home worth $1.5 million in that trust. The government can't count that as an asset towards your application.
Say
right.
So they do that, and it also shelters them in case of a bad divorce.
And this is the thing about it is, remember in Baby Boy when Jody and old dude
Little Jody.
and Reigns, the one that played, Tyrese. mother's boyfriend. He was explaining to him about guns and butter. He said, "What are the guns? You know, so what's the difference between guns and butter?" Okay, butter, cars, jewelry, things that don't mean nothing. The guns, stocks, trust funds. But the thing about it is credit, and credit is a very important because we, we in the community, I know I've been guilty of it because I remember the first time I got me a credit card was from Capital One.
Cha-ching.
Didn't know no better.
Man, I went in there, I saw that, I said, "Ooh, $300. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Red Lobster."
Out of all the places.
I Red Lobster.
That's
That
Red
man
Lobster.
wanted that butter. That's where the butter
Best
analogy
part.
came in. My man was thinking about Red Lobster.
at that part, I'm 8. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm actually 19. 19. I'm like, oh
Ooh-wee.
yes.
That money.
And
I was shopping for
yeah,
clothes.
yeah,
at
yeah,
mine.
yeah. It like this blink of an eye, the $300 was gone, and I said I ain't gonna pay it,
You want to know though? Go ahead.
and I didn't pay it. My father,
You
my
ain't pay that
father,
minimum payment, or you just ain't? You ain't paying
I
nothing.
ain't
They
paid
ain't
nothing.
nothing.
I ain't
I
paid
We ain't
nothing.
even read the contract at this point. You just signed up for the credit card.
No, they
You ain't
actually,
read the contract.
they actually sent it to me. I think I did fill out the application. I ain't think whatever.
You scanned over the contract. You did
But-
not read
That man
everything.
saw the amount on the little dummy card. He was like,
But-
"Dang, I got $500. Balling."
That's all you
But-
see.
But
They not
I
getting no
had-
money.
well, I didn't pay. My father used to get on my kid. You need to pay that credit card bill. I'm like, I ain't paying them nothing.
Get it
But-
from my grave.
So they
But
come
Until-
to you.
it was so crazy. I heard this replicate like on credit is like a reputation. I heard this over a freestyle on Funk Flex with Mickey Fax. He said, credit is like a reputation. If I front you some work and you pay me back, we good. Credit score maximum. If I give you work and you don't pay me back, we got an issue. And that's the thing about it. When you got an issue, they're gonna report that to the credit report, and that's like your reputation is at risk.
All mine
Yeah,
gonna be
that ain't
going
lying.
up.
You know what I'm saying? Your reputation is at risk.
I'm gonna be the unpopular opinion here though, because I don't even look at my credit.
But I tell you one thing though, when I learned, when I went to Fifth Third Bank a long time ago, this one white guy, he was like, I don't use cash at all. I'm like, what you mean?
Just use credit.
He's like, I just use credit. He said, think about it. They are paying me to advertise their product. I'm like, and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, tell me some more. He's like, think about it. He's like, you get a credit card, they give you cash points, they give you rewards points. And with those points, you get all these incentives, as in you can get your flight, or you can get a rental car. And I was like, wow. And another thing he told me, I'm gonna let you get into this, get some
I'm
of this
gonna
old
have to
cooking.
mental note that one though with the
I'm
points.
gonna have to
I'm taking this all
Because
in.
isn't that the same as Go ahead.
because he was explaining to me, like, he said I got a house, but I got another house. He said I don't pay nothing for my house. The house that I rent out pays for my mortgage.
Correct.
And he said the only thing I do is sit back and relax and chill. He said, do I go out there and get new furniture? No. I go to a yard sale and find a nice couch that's in good condition, and I will pay it for half of the price. And another thing that I want y'all to, I'm gonna let her get her. I'm gonna let
No, go ahead. Don't pay.
Do your thing. I like this. I like this.
Okay,
Information I need to know.
y'all familiar with Rockefeller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When he was growing up, his father, his father was no good, but his father taught him about the importance of money. For example, if he borrowed 50 cents, because 50 cents was a lot, okay? I'll use this example, 25 cents. If he gave his son 25 cents, he would have to pay him back 75 cents with interest, because he was teaching him that never borrow from nobody. Be your own boss. And that's how Rockefeller was able,
But then
Two.
it's not borrowing. That's not considered borrowing.
but his father was trying to get. Yeah, he borrowed money from his father, but
he
his
was
father made him
paying
pay back
a lot of
interest.
interest, so he would
Yes.
borrow from others.
Yeah, so he won't borrow money from him. And that's why he got so good. That's why he was able to, to get away with the railroad industry, with the coal and everything, because he knew about how the money works. And in his mind, it was God told him to take over.
I want to be where the money resides.
Yes, and that's the thing about understanding how you make the dollar work for you.
Control and ownership.
Ownership.
And and let me ask you this, because I want to I want some of the new, I got the new panel. I got my new girl Ashley. Y'all give her a clap for the hand. Glad that we got our girl Lynn in the house. So let me ask y'all this. In y'all opinion, what do y'all think about what y'all ultimate goal is in life, as in with wealth? What are y'all working for? Are y'all working to live or just working to survive?
To live. But I think my belief on it is that the foundation has been misconstrued because people only look at wealth as just money. It's money, money, money. Like I said in the last episode about the Juneteenth, it's about greed. So people don't know that once you know what you have, which it could be your gift, like if you can rap, if you can draw, like using your gift is the value that you have that you bring to the people, and that becomes your purpose, and then everything else follows. So you don't have to look at wealth as just money, like to be successful. You don't have to have money to consider yourself to have wealth. So my purpose is, using my gifts, and like I'm saying, everything else follows behind it. But the foundation with everything is I just think it's just misconstrued because everybody just considers wealth to be money.
Coin.
So,
I'm glad you.
and it's not purpose.
I'm glad you brought that up, because this is gonna be my last little say so. Then I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna sit back and relax and drink some of this water, because I'm getting parched up in here. It remind me of what Play said a while ago. He said that you could be successful without God, but you won't be able to enjoy your success without God.
Correct.
If that make any sense to
That
anybody.
does. That does.
Because you look at people that have all the wealth, that are not happy.
Wealth doesn't make you happy.
It doesn't.
I think it do
doesn't.
though, unfortunately.
I was just about to say
There's an underlying.
there's an underline there, because
Yeah.
you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have people to share it with, and if you don't not just genuinely happy with yourself, then
It's just
That's
and
the
people
old
that
saying.
genuinely love you while you have that money, because you have a lot of celebrities that actually end their lives.
I'm willing
You
to put
have
it to the test.
everything, but yet you're willing to end your life
Feel
because
like,
you
hey, I
don't feel
promise I
loved.
ain't
You
gonna
understand?
kill myself, bro. Just drop a milli right now.
Right, but I
I
understand.
that.
But
But you didn't know how
it's
to
a
use
difference
it.
when you have all of these things. You have plenty of money. You have the knowledge. You have all of this stuff. But then when you encounter all of these people that are around you, they're just using you for what you have. So at the end of the day, when you need somebody, like deeply need somebody, and you need to call, who are you calling? So therefore, they
Therapist,
yeah.
$1,000 a minute.
Exactly. They're even using you. So at the end of the day, everybody's about money,
You ever
right?
heard the saying though? Some people are so rich that that's all they have is money.
Right.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's what it boils down to. That's all you have, and that money can't talk back to you, and nothing like that.
Can I ask y'all a question?
sure.
And the audience too. Do you think money changes people,
Of
or do you think
course.
it enhances who you really are?
It enhances,
enhances.
who you really
Oh,
are, who
correct.
you really want to be. Because
Yep.
if you are then
Yeah.
that's who you really gonna be. If you're genuinely a giver, then you're gonna give more. But if,
Correct.
that's just
I think
it.
money can change people, and
Yes.
and the reason why I say it's not an enhancement of who you are is because some people like myself, I've been naturally a kind-hearted person. You can get this shirt off my back. But enough bad instances and enough bad encounters with people, you gon' put your no. Now you gotta be no. No means
Right,
no.
Yeah, you gotta always,
But
watch it.
you see what I'm saying? So that's not who you are to begin with, but you gotta move with the cards you're dealt, right? It's unfortunately though, you have to develop some essence of discernment when you get to a certain level. I'm not the richest, but I can tell you one thing: even the slightest coin's doing more than what other people around you are seemingly doing. Because I say seemingly because a lot of people go off of what they see and what they think. A lot of people don't see anything else but what it looks like. You know what I mean? But I say that to say, like, there's a lot of people that move differently. It goes back to Jay-Z. A lot of times when you get up, people start treating you differently. You ain't moved different.
Right,
You
and it's
still
not
hanging
you
out with
changing,
them.
though. That's the thing about it.
Yeah,
You're not
they see
changing.
you
It's
different.
the people, they see you different. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? They feel some type of way because,
You're leaving them behind pretty much.
and it's not that you leaving them behind. They not growing with
They
you.
not
correct.
growing
that's-
Correct.
and
You're,
yet you
you are
really-
leaving them.
And
You're moving on.
You're moving on,
Yeah.
but
You're moving
and
on.
most of the time, people got a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To come with you or to stay where they at, and they choose to stay where they at and then resent you and try to make you feel some type of way.
That's really what it is, and you could tell because when you start sharing good news, that's one thing about it, right? You always want to be putting your people's on. That's
Right.
I think that's another thing our community feel like with this wealth gap, right? We get to a certain level and feel like, oh, we had to fight to get there. We want to fight to keep it. That you don't put everybody else on to the knowledge that took you to get to where you at, or
I
put
don't
people
wanna
on
be
to
And
the
you
top
just
by
so
myself.
excited to share your
That's
news
what
with
it
somebody,
is.
and it's like they're not
Thank
even
you.
genuinely happy for you.
Meanwhile, they praying on you.
And you know,
Correct.
and you know it's so crazy. Like Fat Joe, for prime example, with him, I seen his interviews, right? Especially the one that he did at this little barbershop. He don't put a lot of people on. He don't put on DJ Khaled. He don't put on Cool and Dre. And it was so crazy because DJ Khaled have more money than Fat Joe.
Another one.
And it was so crazy because Fat Joe said that a lot of people are so used to being on top, they don't want to go down.
They don't know how to play number two.
And that's the thing about it is,
Everybody want to be a boss.
and it was so crazy was.
Oh, we got some calls here.
All right.
Hold on the calls. Hold on the calls. Hold on, let me go and finish this.
All right, hang on.
So
Right?
so
Hang on, caller.
so check this out. So when he said that, he said, I'm rich. But Cali, he's rich. So when I see him, I open the door.
Right.
He's like, because he's richer than me. He need to be protected. Because he said he grew up being number two. So when you know what I'm saying, when he's not the big boss around, he sit back.
Protect mode, yeah.
Yeah, he on protect mode. And that's the thing about it. He understand, like, hey, if I help this person become a millionaire, even though he might make more money than me, but the thing about it is we still millionaires.
That's right.
Right.
But he just make more money than I do. And the thing about it is I think within our community, we don't want to see, we got that bucket, that crab in the bucket mentality. And the thing about it needs to stop.
It really does.
And the thing about we need to help each other out so we could progress more as a people. So let's go ahead and get on these phones.
What's going
and, You
on?
know, and
Talk
just
to
let
us.
get it popping.
All right, who we got on the line?
They done hung up on.
There's still.
Dominique.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
You got a
What's
question?
up, y'all?
What's up?
I don't have a question. I like the topic that you guys were talking about. The initial question was, do money change you? And I did put in the chat, it should change you. No one works to remain the same.
Correct.
Correct.
So,
Oh, I like that.
With
like
that
that,
being
yes.
said, with that being said, it should change you. You should want to go harder. You should want to help, or if that's in your DNA, your personality, and who you are, we want everyone to help. But it is what it is. But it should change you, and I don't think anyone do anything to remain the same.
That's right.
I think
So
the
that
goal
was
is
my topic.
changing you for the betterment, Dominique.
It should change you for the betterment, or it should just okay. Look at it like this: it should change your environment.
course.
if you make it to that level, it can change your mentality. It can change your responsibilities. It can change your relationships. So what I'm saying, all areas of your life should change. Or if not all, but some of them, you know? So, and when I think the mindset that, money shouldn't change you, what expectation are you trying to live up to? And whose expectation are you trying to live up to? Because I think one of the other young ladies said, people
say it louder for the people in the back.
I
So,
agree.
yeah, you're trying to live with other people's, mindset of you, and why? Why should you be confined to who they think you are? You change. Hell, I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
Right. You're right.
Real talk. Real talk.
Stuff.
Yeah, I respect that.
And,
I respect that.
And it's so funny because when you start doing better with, as in you started making more money, then you started to move to more of the suburban side. Because my cousin, he dealt with this. He went to graduated from all black high school. In his when he was younger, he grew up in the projects. But when he started making good money, he starting to want to live a little bit better.
Supposed to.
But the thing about it is, when people look at him and his wife, they think they are like, they not down.
they bougie.
Yeah.
No, people got it misconstrued.
You think you better than
That's jealousy.
That's what it is.
It is jealousy. Low
Is
key
it
jealousy.
jealousy or is it envious?
Both.
Both things.
Because jealousy, here's the thing. I feel like it's more envy because I want to be you. I want to have what you have.
Yeah, right. And I don't.
Jealousy is
And I'm
when,
jealous because of what you have.
but that's the thing, because jealous has that action effect to it, meaning like it's not that I want that, I just don't want you to have it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that's
the
really the
difference,
mindset between the two. Because if I don't even want it, but I just don't want you to have
I
it,
don't want you to have it.
I'll stop at any means to make sure you don't have it,
Correct.
as long as you with me.
Correct.
While envious on the other side is like, yo, I see you doing your thing. I want to get on. Oh, you ain't gonna give me it off the back, bro? Then
Right.
it's
But
that
they don't
I want
Correct.
what you got. You know what I'm saying? They do have the same conclusion at the end of the day, meaning someone in their mind mentally is not able to afford your success where you're at. So they do have the same connotation, if you will. But I do feel like the jealousy has that action effect that leads to
And that's
rappers
that-
going back to the hood getting
That's
killed.
that negative energy.
That's really what it
That's
is.
that negative energy that you don't want around
Yeah.
you
But
they
in
don't-
general.
The problem is they don't want to go through the same thing that you went through.
They don't
to
know what
get
you went through.
They don't
to
know
where
what you went
need
through to
to
grit
go.
it, and that's for real. People be looking at other people's story and watching them. Oh, she got this and she got
You
that.
don't know she's
When
sleeping
you
on the
don't
couch.
know what she went through.
She's sleeping
you
on
know
the
what I'm
couch.
saying? For how many
You
years
don't
she
know
went
nothing.
through it to get where she was going.
Not
That's why
the
you can't
plastic
judge.
on the
It is.
couch.
Hey, Tupac said it better. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the struggle.
No.
Right.
They see the hype, not the
Yes.
struggle.
And also, like with me, prime example. If I see somebody that's doing better than me, it gonna motivate me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might be like, man, why this person doing better than me? I was like, you know what? Forget that. I'm gonna do what they gonna do, and I'm gonna do it 10 times better. It's just me being that competitive. I'm not gonna be like. To me, it's too much energy to hate on somebody.
Yeah.
It's
Too
because
much
you gotta
energy.
watch them. You
gotta
actually
be
gotta
watching
watch
them. You
them.
gotta
You're
be
putting
I'm
all
not
your
gonna watch.
you're
I'm
putting
not
all
gonna
your
stop no-
frustration in one
I
person.
ain't got time.
You're
I'm
focused instead of focusing on the right stuff. You focusing on
But
this
here's
person.
this dynamic, and this is another train of thought I think our community needs to break. That success and wealth is measured by the materialistic things that you have.
It is not.
Because I literally had this conversation. I went to a boss's brunch. You know, everybody doing their little brunches. I went to a boss's brunch. It's about 15 of us ladies at the table, right? All right, boom. Everybody have a conversation. What do you do? What do you do? Hey, girl. Whatever. So you got, I got my Louis bag. Oh, yeah, we just bought. I just got the new range, but I'm about to get this or whatever, right? Everybody's talking about all of the stuff that they
Materials.
bought. I don't knock it, because if that's what you buy as your treat me gift, something to yourself,
By all
hey,
means.
do you, boo boo? But in essence, though, in my head, just because I like just money thinking how wealth works. Because another thing is too, where we parked at, the restaurant was real upscale. They had the whole thing blocked off. So where we parked at, everybody's pulling. The cars got to pull up parallel behind each other. So first of all, I didn't know that there was valet. So first thing I'm asking, is this valet? This is where we park or whatever. I drive a 2013 Toyota Corolla. I'm not ashamed to say it. Hello.
You got a car.
Right.
I know,
But
right?
as I'm sitting here and having the conversations and we're talking about everything, I chuckled a little bit because I was looking at the ensemble and everybody have on, everybody doing. And I'm thinking to myself that as much as we're sitting here praising they sitting here praising the materialistic things that they have, in my head, I'm looking at all of the money that you're trickling down because these are all depreciating assets.
Correct.
You just spent $225,000 on a car, not even bought it cash.
Listen,
now
they be
you got a
having more
loan,
money on
and you
their
paying
behinds
and
than
you
they got
paying
in their
double
bank
for what
account.
it's worth because the car not worth that.
Right.
You drove off the lot, you down $2,000. I'm just looking at you. I'm just your bank account, like. Help me. Help me, nigga. Because at this point, you just, okay, and that's, like I said, it's no shade. But to me, I'm thinking about the math, right? All right, car payment, $600. Car insurance, because you need full coverage to pay for this. Now you close to $1,000 a month. Even if you can't afford it, it's the old saying, just because you could don't mean you should.
That's right.
Because put that $900 in the infinite banking account. What you coming out with?
Come on now.
A
Tell
whole
'em.
kids, you got business for your kids to go do and stuff like that. That purse you just spent $2,500 for, can't pay it back.
This is my thing.
You
It's gonna
gonna
be
get
in
it
the
back.
corner in the closet anyway.
But is it $25 in the bag?
This
But the
people-
No.
bag costs
Right.
$2,500.
Now, you should,
You better have insurance and wheels on that
They,
damn
and
purse.
they don't. They don't. No, they don't got no insurance on themselves. Forget the purse.
part.
They don't got no life insurance on themselves. They
That
be running
part.
around here real fly, but in real life they be broke.
But let me tell you, by the time I left the brunch, the essence of the story is, old girl leaned over next to me. she was like, I'm just going to get your number because one of the things I was thinking about, my husband really liked the car. He really liked it because he go play golf and stuff like that. So he really liked the car, but I think we finna go trade it in. So, when we traded in, actually, he got the other car as a lease. So he got to give it back. We trying to keep the miles low. So, once we get rid of that, listen, but the truth start to come out when you make it make sense
Correct.
for them. Because it sounds good if I'm at a brunch with all of y'all and 3 of y'all are seemingly here because you got the Maserati, you got the Rolls Royce, and you got
trying
the
to fit
Range
in.
Rover.
Right.
I'm gonna be now. I gotta talk about what I got.
Correct.
Get to my seat and watch me tell you. I drive a 2013
Okay.
Toyota Corolla.
Listen.
Correct.
How much in my bank account?
That
Exactly.
part.
How much was in yours?
Listen.
What that car cost?
And you know it's so
It ain't even
What's
in
your
yours. It's in your
interest?
husband's.
It's
It's not
Right.
even yours. You
It's
ain't got nothing.
lease. And it's okay. And the thing about it is, if you
okay.
got to do what you got to do to get to where you got to go, that's fine. But educate yourself before you outwardly display certain things. Because now they became clients, but still.
Listen.
Still.
You don't know. how
You
to
broke it
use
down
the
to them.
money.
You made it
Yeah,
make
but
sense.
imagine if you would have did that months ago.
you know it's so crazy. Like I said, I do Uber. Okay, I know I keep on saying I do Uber.
We knew since the
Okay,
Listen,
first
I
the
do
day.
whole world know do Uber. And the reason why I say this because I deal with a lot of things. I meet a lot of people. So I remember because if you order Uber doesn't mean that you're broke. Okay, I just want to put that out there right now. Okay, I'm a living witness. I could tell you 2 stories. First story.
Story time.
I was out there in Sanford. I was mad because I ain't want to be in Sanford.
Why you sound like a pastor right now? I was out in Sanford.
Yeah, I was out there in Sanford. I was heated. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna make no money. Man, I'm gonna be broke. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay out here. You know what? I'm out here in the trenches. I'm gonna thug it out. I had one that, and I picked her up. She gave me a $15 tip in cash. I'm like, okay. Money talks, okay. Then pick somebody else up. They tipped me $20 in the app. I said, okay. And this one guy, last person I picked up in Sanford. So we driving. I'm talking about like he was white, Caucasian. He was dressed in regular clothes. We driving. I'm like,
I'm about to die.
I'm gonna be in the woods.
In Sanford?
I'm talking about in the woods. I'm like, man, what the heck, man? I wanted to, hey man, I'm gonna drop you off right here. You want to walk
He
around.
about to take you with a
But
Ku Klux Klan
no,
hat.
but something told me like,
Hey, bro, you
Renee,
see these gas prices,
so-
right?
something told me
I'll
like
be in
Renee,
charge.
say Renee, be patient. Be patient. I'm driving. You know, I had my little Lucy Pearl plane, you know, driving. And you know, he's just relaxing. Then we pull up. Then I start looking at these houses. I'm like, oh, hold up now. This is a little different here.
Helpful.
This is a little different.
Playboy Mansion in the back.
Right?
You know, and we pull. This is nighttime now, so I pull up to the, you know, the estate that he stayed in. I put the code in, and when the gates open up, my eyes pop so big. I'm seeing all these big old houses, look like little mini castles.
Was it the pearly white gates?
He made
Well, you know,
that man thought he went home.
And, you know,
That's what heaven feels like.
but the thing about it is, when I pull up to this house, nice house, and you know the nervy one thing he had to say like, oh my gosh, like they didn't leave the lights on. I'm like, leave the lights on? What the heck are you talking about? Then I'm like, this guy, and he was like, this guy problems are different from mine.
Yeah, they.
And then, but the thing about it is, you know, he didn't have no car. He probably did. He was probably in the car. He was probably like in the garage. And I took him out. Not took him out, but he went out. He like, hey, thank you, and he just waiting. I'm like, what are they doing? I'm sorry, I ain't gonna say nothing. This man gave me a $60 tip.
That was good.
Don't judge.
That was
But the whole thing about it is, you know, I want to kidnap him because I want to kidnap him because I want his knowledge. I wanted his knowledge because I want to be like, hey, listen, what do you do, sir? Tell me, so I need to get with you.
I
at.
definitely would have built the
you could've
bond.
just
Listen, you can
asked,
call
you
me.
have
This is
to
my
kidnap
personal number right
But,
here. I will pick you up, drop you off wherever you need
Right,
to
I'd have
go.
been the personal
But the next
Uber.
story,
Right?
I had to pick somebody up from the Dr. Phillips Center. Picked them up. They live out there in Windermere. Dropped them off. You know what I saw in their driveway? I didn't see no Range Rover. Cause the house they lived in was real big. I ain't see no Range Rover.
Sedans.
I ain't see no. I probably saw like a F-150. You know, it looked like an older model, and
Construction worker.
I saw a Camry. But the house they stayed in was real big, and it just go to show you that they probably could afford. They could have probably afford a Range Rover. They probably could afford a Mercedes Benz, but they realized, like, in their mind, a car is a car.
Right.
Right.
I think there's a difference between that and our community because there's a good comment here I'm going to actually put on the screen here. It says, unfortunately, in the black community, people follow the people that have the look of wealth, but not the feel of peace of wealth. There's a difference.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct,
yeah.
correct.
Yes, I
Definitely
like
big
that.
difference.
I like that.
You got little Jaquan over here with jewelry and everything, so you're assuming that he's rich. But then you got, you know, this guy over here with his New Balance on, his little khaki shorts on, you know,
Yeah.
plaid polo shirt. You're not really paying attention
Man,
to
just
him. You're
pull
not
up-
even thinking that he
pull
has
up to
any
the
money.
projects.
He's the most expensive person in this building right now because he's not flashing his money.
Right.
At the end of the day, this person right here that's flashing that's everything he had in his pocket.
Because once you
he
get
got
that
it
type
on.
of money, you don't want to be bothering with people. You don't want people to be following you around and stuff like that. So you're gonna be
Thank
looking
you.
real
Correct.
expensive. 'Cause you don't want nobody to be like, oh, you know, or trying to rob you or plotting on your downfall. So they want to look normal. They want to blend in. Only broke people really want to stand out.
Right.
But that's the whole saying, right? Broke people are the only people that go broke to show broke people that they not broke.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's literally how it goes.
And everybody's struggling. Everybody's struggling, but we
And
over
there's
here
nothing-
trying to
you
show
know
each
the thing
other.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's not.
There's nothing wrong.
Nah,
with it.
And
to each is their own, you know.
And another pet
Normalize
peeve.
the struggle. I was just saying,
Normalize it,
normalize the
seriously.
struggle.
But one of my pet peeves are
Just
this. When you somebody that's struggling just like me want to give me financial advice, that irks me. You know, I'm like, okay, you struggling just like me. Take some of your own advice
Well,
and
What's
use
that
it.
mean? What you mean struggling?
Okay, all right, check this out. So what if you have a friend, right? you know, they got a nice expensive car, but they telling you, no, you need to get you a car, you know, that you could just pay it off on, and telling you like, well, you need to do your finances a little better. And the whole time you looking at them like, okay, you give me this advice. Why you not taking your own advice? I see you struggling with your car payments. I'm seeing you struggling with your bills.
The blind leading the blind.
Well, I'm a unpopular opinion of that, right? Because one of the things about me, I was a reader. I was a reader of everything before I actually put the action to it. Because for me, when I was with my circle of friends and I'm reading things, like there was a book called Breaking the Willie Lynch Curse. It was the first book that made me actually learn investments and how it worked. You know that the old saying, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book?
Yeah.
Right, Breaking the Curses of Willie Lynch. Anyways, when I was reading that, there was things about how investments work literally in our community, stuff like that, right? But I was nowhere near ready to bust those moves. But it's the hope of having the conversation. Right? You my friend. Hey, let me tell you what I read.
That's right.
Let me tell you, like, hey, we could do this and
See,
do this.
that's the excitement.
I'm motivating you.
That's the
It's a
excitement.
motivate. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that you. I want to give you the information that I got because if it sparked this in me, I wanted to do the same for you,
right.
so we could come together and figure out.
If I gotta pay for that knowledge, it ain't genuine.
Hold on, I'm not even. But you know they struggling, but you look in, they say, oh, I'm about to get another car,
They just
and
might not want you to
they
be right with
getting a car.
They
They
don't
already
want you
have.
to surpass them.
Yeah, that's
and it's like
sometimes
it's
it
a
is.
hateful thing, and it's like, why should, if we're friends, I want to build you up, and I want to make sure we're both like, whatever I learned, I'm happy as hell to give it to you.
Right.
Without you having to ask me for nothing. Listen, this is what I found out, homegirl. Listen, do this way. But if I have to call you and ask you, what's going on, you know, and you're telling me, oh yeah, I'm gonna charge you to get this information.
Right.
my
Or they act
friend.
like they don't know what's
We're not
going
cool.
on.
No, because
Yeah, we not cool.
but my whole thing about it is a lot of people like to preach about it, but they don't like to practice.
Correct.
And I know met people that say they got it like this and got it like that, and in reality, they are struggling.
Don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
And it just like, okay, when I left Orlando to move to Birmingham, Alabama, I went to school at Miles College. At that time, I never really been around, like, never seen like upper class black men until when I went to college. And when I saw how, like, my chairman of the department, you know, Dr. Woods, how he would just talk to me every day, explain to me about what it is to be a black man, what it is to invest in yourself, invest in your family. And it's so important to be there for your family. You know, that's wealth, is building your foundation with your family. And I just just seeing what Dr. Woods was doing, then Mr. Haynes, then my good friend Dedrick. If you was to meet my friend Dedrick, he don't believe in wearing no polo. He don't believe in wearing no
brands.
He still got clothes from back in 1998.
He's smart.
FUBU.
But the
Baby fat.
thing about it is he got a 2014.
Phil said he still own one of them leather jackets with the fur.
Man, I still got lugs.
But the thing about
You got dot eyes.
But the thing about it is, he got a 2014 Honda Accord paid off on. He still have his second car that he had purchased when he was in college. He still have that, and he keep it up. When his father died, his father had a 1981 one Vans, one of them old school Vans, one that had like them 2 gallons to take it to fill up.
The Scooby Doo man.
But what I'm saying is, if you look at him, you know, like they said, never judge a book by its cover. When you look at him, you're like, nah, he don't have nothing. But he's a homeowner. He got 2 cars and 1 van. And, you know, and he saved his money. And he saved his money because he knows the value of the dollar. And when I when I'm dealing with Mr. Haynes, which been a major influence in my life, he explained how the dollar works, and Dr. Woods explained about how the dollar works and how to be a leader amongst leaders, and that's have to be a good listener. And sometimes, at times, we don't want to listen what our peers are teaching us because we think we know it all until we start drowning. Then we want somebody to come and throw their lifesaver to save us.
Gotta stay coachable.
You have to stay humble. You have to listen. And once you listen, you got to comprehend. Because you can listen all you want, but if you don't comprehend it,
It ain't registering. It ain't going.
exactly. And, this subject, man, Q,
Yes.
you did your thing, man. I really.
None
really-
other the perfect person to talk about that.
And, if you don't mind, share a little story about you, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So,
Cute.
I laughed. She was upset with herself. And like I told her when I first did my first podcast, Phil would tell you, I ain't barely speak at all. Phil would tell you. Phil used to get on my
No,
case.
I don't believe that.
There was one episode he didn't talk for 40 minutes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I was just
But-
looking.
But what I'm saying is, as time when you as we right now we building something special, and I'm very blessed that I was able to reach out to each one of y'all, and y'all told me yes, and y'all could easily told me no. Either way, I was gonna make something happen.
You sure did.
But every story is so funny because you was the last person I reached out to.
Little old me.
Yes, and I reached out to Ashley one time. Say yes. Reached out to her again. No, I'm busy. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna get her behind over here. So I'm like, Ashley, I'm gonna ask you only nicely. But all jokes aside, I
Put her
asked
in
her
that
about it,
Scooby-Doo
and she been ever since she been part of this team, she just been on the ball, man.
Facts.
She been
Facts.
doing
Been
her
on
thing,
the
man.
ball, and it wouldn't be for Q for doing the LLC for me, because everybody did their part to make this happen. Believe in life, and I'm so thankful because when I first broke it down what it means, man, she not no thumbs up, heart. I said, you know what? Get over here. But no, what I'm saying is, I did not know that I was creating, majority of a girls group, a woman's group. Because y'all not girls, y'all full grown women, okay? And I didn't know that. I'm like, and somebody brought it to my table, like, you're the only guy, and it's all women. I'm like,
He be trying not to let us take over.
Right.
He be like, y'all ain't finna punk me on my stuff.
and
That's
it
what's
was
not
like,
gonna happen.
they was like, are you gonna be okay? Because you look like you ain't gonna be able to. I said, I'm gonna hold my own. I said, I might be drowning, but as long as I could just and go back in, I'll be okay.
We don't do you like that.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just very thankful for this team that God put together.
And he did that.
Did that.
And and it's just been a blessing. And I'm telling y'all, this team here is the most deadliest, dangerous team in America. Not in Florida, but in America. Because somebody gave a shout out to Ash.
Hey, cuz.
But just to, because sometimes, and she speak about this last week about us coming together and working together, and every race know how to come together and work together except us. But we here,
What the church
Very
say?
true. Amen.
but we here, but we, not I, not you, we are here because we are coming together and to open doors for everybody else. Because it's not only me, it's us.
That's right.
Without us, there's nothing.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Facts.
And also, I want to throw out there, we need to invest in our communities, and we definitely need to get a black-owned bank back in Orlando, because we have to bank with us, bank black.
We
And
had one. It was Axiom. I was
do have
banking
one.
with them, and then I don't know. What
I
happened
had
with them.
Urban Trust, then
We
I
had
had
one in,
United
I don't
One.
know what
Castleberry.
happened.
Yeah, but to my people out there, always put God first in your life. If you want the doors to open the way you want to, I know I haven't been in church in years, and I know I need to go because Grandma be getting on my case. Now you gonna wake up and you gonna be burned.
Dude, not your grandmama sounded like granddaddy.
I didn't know your grandma DMX.
But everything that she do say is out of love, and it's just it's the truth. If you are the person that believes in what the Bible teaches, everybody got their own different opinions about religion.
Depending on which Bible we reading from.
Yes, but the thing about it is, prayer works, and putting Him first works.
Yes.
All the time.
So tonight's show, we didn't give y'all no Kool-Aid. We gave y'all some Coca-Cola.
And I think that's what make it different, though. Real talk. You can listen to a lot of podcasts out there, but how many of them are actually going to feed you to change your lifestyle? We can sit here and talk about reality drama all day, but they getting paid from that. We ain't.
Right. None of our business.
We trying to show how you can actually change the dynamic, change the wealth in your family, everything else inside of this and outside of what we doing in our natural life is building the black community. So,
But you know what? I want to touch on this this subject a little bit because it's been big. It's been blowing up with the Supreme Court with the Roe versus Wade. Because y'all women,
you got time for that?
You ain't got time for that.
you know what I'm saying? Well, we will discuss about that at another time. But in the near future, I want everybody to, our audience to go and look at the Roe versus Wade and what it has done, what was the purpose of it, and by the Supreme Court turning it, 6-2. Oh man, I just think about that dude Clarence Thompson. I'm not gonna say because I'm not gonna.
To my Uncle Ruckus?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
White man, the best thing ever.
Don't trust those new niggas.
My name is Uncle Ruckus. I've been niggas saying y'all to your grandfather. For be wrong. But people like him that use affirmative action to be where he's at and to be against it, that troubles me as a black man. But that's a different subject and a different day. But tonight, how y'all want to end it?
I'm bringing back trivia next show.
Yes. Trivia's gonna
Sorry,
be super dope
I had to
next
throw that
show.
out there. So remember to stay tuned for the next show because we giving out coins. We giving out knowledge. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. But the thing is, to get your money, you got to be
Present.
subscribe.
Hello.
You do got to be there to hear the questions. But you need to subscribe, hit the notification button so that you can know when we going live with the questions.
Right, tell your aunties and
Don't,
your uncles and
you
your
know,
cousins and them,
Just
y'all
act like
come
it's a
on
barbecue
in.
and we got
I'm
food.
saying,
That's it.
I'm saying, gas is expensive. You need some of Ching a Ling, and you want your Cash App to go ching ching.
If you want to donate,
Hit us.
you know what I'm saying, go ahead and hit the Cash App.
Some
I
of
wanna
y'all
keep this
already
going.
done ran through that tax money. Y'all need to.
And I also am going to be giving away some one-on-one
Yes.
coaching sessions and through trivia next week.
Yes.
So I'll be giving away 2 of those. It can be a pick my brain section, a business coaching section. You get an hour of my time, and you can ask me whatever it is that you want about finances.
Y'all don't want to miss that.
anything.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to miss that one-on-one with Q. So remember to like, subscribe. We on Facebook now too. So follow the page so you can get all of the information, and don't miss the questions because people was real mad about being able to steal last time. Don't y'all jump in. Don't text me and don't do all that stuff. Jump in my DM because you missed the answer to the question. Google.
And also, you know, my beard will be coming back, you know, because I know I done shaved it all. I'm looking all crazy, but the beard will be coming back. So y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe out there. You know, this is your boy Renee. I got my girl Q. I got my girl Ashley. I got my girl Lynn. And I got my girl DJ.
Yo.
So, good night.
Good night.
Chop, chop it like I see you, boy.